My name is Michaela Magas. I'm heading an outfit called Stromatolite, which is a design and innovation research lab. We have two spin-offs. One is called Sonaris, which is a new way for searching for music, and it's currently being implemented on a platform called QSongs. You can see it at qsongs.com, which is being funded by Peter Gabriel. And another venture, which is the Music Tech Fest, which is a non-profit venture and unites all of the music tech stakeholders under one roof.
We're here at the Music Tech Fest, and these are the few minutes right after the hack camp. The hack camp is now complete, and people have been creating new devices, new pieces of software, new pieces of kit. And they all have one thing, pretty much only one thing in common, and it's that they are pieces of music technology. They are creative and innovative pieces of music technology.
Anyone done any Bluetooth, Wiimotes, controlling? Yeah, there you go.
The Music Tech Fest was really cool. Really nice vibe, really interesting people from all over the place. We had some guys come over from Spain. We had people from all over England as well, just doing completely different things. We had visual designers, and we had academics, and we had coders and DJs and lots of people. It was really cool.
So now this is the second time I've been to Music Tech Fest. I came last year because one of the tutors from my university put me onto it originally, I think. And I came last year and just absolutely fell in love with it. It's such an amazing community, the mixture of like people hacking different projects, like new media startups, people from big businesses and kind of labels that we all know in electronic music. There's just such an amazing combination of all different people at this event that after last year I just knew that I was gonna end up coming back to this every time I heard it was on.
Things get done in the space of 24 hours, and they wouldn't even see the day if they were a massive corporate project or if they were done under different conditions. Pressure is good sometimes. Hackathons are great sources of pressure.
I really like the hacks that they've got, like a floor below is it. Especially the cube, which is like an illuminated cube done from like a styrofoam or something. A really good thing. Like I hope like someone's going to use that in an artist will use that on tour or something like that.
And just those kind of much deeper software kind of products rather than the sort of more hardware things that I like to do. I'm just really amazed by. So possibly kind of like to look at working with some of those kinds of people. If I can do hardware things and they can program software things, it'd be a really great collaboration for me.
The festival is conceived very much as a festival of music ideas, not as a conference, but as a space that's very creative, where different people doing totally disparate things in the music tech space can come together and exchange ideas. We end up with fantastic results where people collaborate and create things that they wouldn't otherwise.
Adam John Williams. This is my project that I built in the 2-day hack camp that we had here at Music Tech Fest. I call it the Quirk Guitar just because it's kind of a quirky guitar. It's not really much like a guitar at all, apart from the layouts would be like familiar to guitarists, but the idea was more that because I know guitar scales and chords, but I wanted something that would sound totally different, so I then on the computer coded a completely new synthesis engine in the 2 days I've been here, so that you could use a guitar style controller to get much kind of more sonically rich new sounds that normally you'd have to use a large synthesizer or something to get. That wouldn't be very accessible to people playing other kinds of instruments. Well, I want to continue to develop it. It's definitely kind of, I found some bugs while I've been working on it, because I literally started working on it yesterday morning. It's now about 8 o'clock on Sunday evening, and I started working on this about 11 o'clock yesterday. And it got pretty far, considering it's only been sort of in development for less than 2 days, but it now kind of getting the little bugs out and finding all of the different things that it maybe can do or that other people would like it to do, so that it goes beyond something that would be only useful for me to kind of not become a product. Like, this is not something, I wouldn't want to kind of sell this software, but if I made it like an open engine that other people could build into their own programs, that would be really good.
There should be some interesting things happening, because what I'm trying to do now is actually I've hooked up with... So my background is in design. Graduate of the Royal College of Art in London. I ventured into digital technologies in the early noughties and worked with iTunes and Peter Gabriel's companies. And I got invited by the MIT, a professor that came from MIT, on a project that was New Ways of Searching for Music. It was an engineering project. And I was very interested in learning about the scientific side and about the hardcore side of music information retrieval, which is a science that we now sort of refer to as music information research, because we've opened it up to all sorts of other areas of investigation. So this was a PhD grant, and this involved the whole of the academic community. I thought that they were doing some fantastic things in the academic community, and that these things needed to be exposed to the masses and to industry. And it was a big challenge for me as a designer to understand the scientific side of things. So it was very much diving in at the deep end, and sort of starting from scratch, working with people who are incredibly intelligent, very experienced, and who are able to interpret signal from sound and audio and music in ways that can then drive systems. A lot of the apps that you see at the festival, a lot of the systems that have been built from academic research, that were originally academic research. I was interested in becoming someone who could understand both sides, as industry and academia speak very much different languages, for very good reasons. Researchers have to dive in at the deep end. They have to go in at the granular level. They need to really analyze things very methodically in order to get results. Industry operates in a very, very fast-paced environment, very quick decisions, and there's obviously a very different language. The two areas don't talk to each other. So my main impetus was to get them to talk to each other, because there was some fantastic technology happening on one side, and then there were opportunities for people out there to use these technologies if we knew how to turn them into something that's intelligible and something that can be turned into a product.
One of the challenges was from SoundCloud, and that was to create the best noise in the house. So I recorded about 30 seconds of all the other hackers in the room just kind of typing away furiously, and messed with that for a few hours, and came out with something weird. And the other one was from RCA Records, and that was to remix and make music with everything. It's a really cool indie band at the moment. And I remixed one of their tunes called Don't Try. Came out with something bass heavy.
So things actually happen in situ. We have two hack camps, the 3D music hack camp where people build instruments. We have the art hack where people make noise with anything they can find. And all those results are shown on the final day. They're displayed to the audiences on the main stages. On the main stages we run startups doing apps, doing new concepts, new products for in music technology. We also have a huge amount of people who build their own instruments and make music with them, or make music with new types of technologies that they have developed.
So this year I carried on with my guitar theme. Last year, if any of you saw, I built a bass guitar which was augmented with lots of sensors for additional kind of control data. This time I decided to build a new instrument. While it's got an interface that's familiar for guitarists, the sound engine is something completely new. I coded it yesterday and today to kind of get very rich, sort of a very rich sonic experience from something that guitarists usually wouldn't be able to get this same kind of thing. So really, I suppose I better just show you some of what it does. So what I programmed here, if we take a look at the screen, so because my hand's a bit in the way of the iPad here. It's just an iPad mounted into a frame made by a company called Ion. It's marketed as a device to teach people the guitar because the frets light up to show you the shapes of chords. But what I've done is intercepted that data by programming a custom interface that goes onto the iPad. It's broadcast wirelessly to the little wireless hotspot being broadcast from the floor over there where I've plugged it in. And then this is the patch. It is a bit messy, give me a second. So this is the parent patch, which does all the translation of everything that's coming from the guitar wirelessly to the computer. Every one of the strings is its own separate synthesizer, which in itself is quite a large synthesizer because you do need to be able to play all 6 notes at once. So it has 90 oscillators, so for any synth nerds out there, you'd probably be cringing and saying, oh, that's really inefficient, Adam, you're rubbish. But I did it anyway. But having the physics engine on board the iPad means you can strum it like a guitar, but get something totally different than what you would kind of expect. Well, I brought the guitar controller with me. I mean, the thing, it's like a retail product that you can buy that you just put an iPad into the front of, and it only costs around £60. But it's marketed as like a teaching device to kind of help people learn the chord shapes and things. And I brought it with me kind of not knowing exactly what I would do. Just that I would do something, whether it would be a synthesizer on the guitar or maybe some kind of loop recorder or controller. But then they announced yesterday morning what the categories of all the different kind of challenges were, and Cisco were challenging people to make a new instrument of some kind. And I thought that kind of fitted well with what I was doing, especially with Cisco being a networking company, and I was doing lots of stuff with wireless networks as well as it being a new kind of instrument. So I just decided to try and do something to fit within their like the scope of their challenge, and yeah, this is sort of what I came up with in the sort of 2 days and 1 night that I've been here. We've got a balance of all of the different harmonics that we can get all at the same time, and it means we can get nice big dirty bass lines because that's what everyone seems to like. So let's see what it can do. I suppose what kind of got me into this side of music technology was I left school when I was really young, but I was very lucky in that I knew someone who ran a recording studio, and I went and worked there as an assistant, and I just got such an interest for everything that was going on there that afterwards I ended up going to college, doing a music tech course there, and then came to the London College of Music in West London, where I've been studying music tech for a couple of years now, just about the end of my bachelor's degree in that. But while I've been there, I've been looking into kind of much more abstract uses of music tech, things like generating music from brain scan data and kind of really sort of outside the box kind of stuff. So this is something much more sort of conventional compared to the things I usually like to do, but building something custom that kind of is exactly how you want it just really appeals to me, because maybe if you ever just like pick a product up and you play it and you feel like, oh, I wish it was just a little bit like this, if you can build something from scratch that has everything exactly how you want, not only do you get that ideal product, but the whole process itself is so rewarding that once I started doing it, I couldn't stop. So once I finished my bachelor's degree, I think I want to take a little gap to work on projects and kind of collaborate with some of the people I've met at events like this and other kind of sort of music hacking community events, because I've just met so many interesting people, amazing people that do all kinds of interesting stuff, and working with other people just gives you such a brilliant kind of insight and gives you so many different ideas on new ways to do things that you never would have thought of before. And then after kind of taking a little while to just work on things like that, I think I'd like to try and get a PhD funded in some kind of music technology research.
What we're really looking forward to is we are developing several things with artists and labels. There was a launch of the Warp Incubator last night. We're hugely excited about that, hugely excited that a label would stand behind the new artists. And any of the new ideas and sound that are shown at the festival are encouraged to develop further and mature. And when they're at a point of maturity, we can organize a special event when they are screened.
Like, I think I looked at people that did the kind of stuff I was interested in and thought, oh, that's so cool. And I followed people on like YouTube and on, you know, blogs and online and stuff. And I just sort of thought like, oh wow, that's really cool. And I just one day just started doing it. I just thought, you know, if there's an idea that I had, I was going to do it, make a video of it, put it online. And before I knew it, the videos I was making were getting thousands and thousands of views when, as far as I was concerned, they were kind of things that were only interested me. But as soon as I started to actually put stuff out to other people, you build a network of people interested in the same things, and it's just kind of that first step, you know, just looking at it and admiring it and thinking it would be a cool thing to do. It's just, it's not enough. You've just got to start doing it by yourself, even, you know, if you're not working with anyone else, just start doing stuff, and eventually you'll kind of, you know, you'll end up somewhere.
We're in talks with RCA Records, and they are very interested in developing a few ideas with us, with artists, with talented artists, and we are hoping that we can turn those into long-term projects which can be followed by fans and which can then be presented when mature to audiences.
Detail of like my projects, the other things I've been doing, you can just find it all on adamjohnwilliams.co.uk. From there there's links to like YouTube, social media sites, but I suppose it's mostly the YouTube stuff. There's a lot of videos linked from that site of just the different kinds of projects I've been doing.